Hello, my name is Lewis Shepard, and I'm going to be doing a small tutorial on making work with Daz Studio, LuxRender, and Reality. Uh, the first thing I'd like to show you is how to set up a LuxRender machine for a slave render. So I have what I have here is a red-headed figure already mapped out, all ready to go. I have a reality light shined on her, so she's lit, and a back, just a plane uh, uh, to reflect the light and not show up, so the background doesn't show up all messed up. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to invoke Reality Render, and I have all of the lights already pre-configured, a light pre-configured. Materials are ready to go. The output folder I already have set up, Redhead 1. Now, you'll notice that on this one there's no path. I removed the path completely, so what that will do then is name the image into the same folder as this. You don't need the path, and one of the reasons why I've made myself a habit of not having a path is in case I do upload it to Blenderrenders. Obviously, my Blenderrender path is not going to be C: users Lewis desktop, etc. So whereas this doesn't matter because this is just where you save the LXS file, this matters because this goes into the LXS file as the file name. And if you just have it just be the file name, it will save it in the same directory as the LSX file. So that explains what I did here. I choose to collect the textures on all of it because, again, it's good habit. So this is how I prefer my settings. I'm just a regular render. I do it a little smaller so it renders quicker. I collect the textures, make the texture size a little smaller so it renders faster during, again, a test render. And I will select export only. And we will begin this. Actually, we don't need export only for this render because this is going to be a network render. So I'll turn this off and I will go ahead and start rendering. So we will render Redhead 1 now. As you can see, it's collecting the textures and setting up the geometry. It's firing up the girl, and here we go. Now, while this is loading up and setting up here, I'm going to go over to Blenderrenders, and I'm going to set up one machine for 1 hour, just because we're testing it. Lux 1.0, that's the version I'm using, and we click Start. Your LuxRender is available here on the upper taskbar. And now, this takes a moment to give you a machine. Blenderrender sets up its own machine, gets you an IP, fires up the program, and all that is happening right now as we speak. It's finding an available machine, getting me an IP address, and invoking my LuxRender 1.0. And we should here have, there we go, we have an IP now. So we can copy that and we can bring it over to LuxRender, place it into the network tab, and start. And that should connect here, not yet, but very shortly. There we go. Sending commands to the server. I jumped the gun a little bit too fast. But it is now going to this server. So let me make that a little clearer. And I'm going to pause this for a moment and let this run for a second. And I'll talk more about some things here in a second. Okay, we're back. What I'm seeing here is that we are getting the samples. We're at about 8 minutes into this, so I'm getting the first set of samples from my slave rendering machine. It's updating there we go. It's updating the system, and we're getting some samples there. We got 22 samples from the server, and now this line changes now, and I'll give you a quick rundown on this. 8 minutes, 8 threads going on this local machine. this local machine has done 58 samples. Uh, average number of samples per second by local node, blah, 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 blah. Okay, but these are the numbers I concerned myself with. 59 samples. The network has done 23 for a total of 83. Okay, that's pretty much what I've gotten at. Now, I usually let this run till about 2,000 or 2,500 samples. If it's a production, 3,000 to 3,500, but you'll know right around, obviously, around the first 100, whether or not you want to continue this or not, or whether the lighting is right for you or not. But you can see the quality of this. It needs some time. And so that's that. The other thing I wanted to talk about here is this network. 180 seconds in between when it requests more samples from the server. If I'm going to let this run for 3,000 samples, obviously I don't need an update from the remote server every minute and a half, or 3 minutes. So I would set that to 600 or 700 seconds, just so it gives it the remote server time to work and less concentrating on sending and receiving samples. So that's really all you need. Now you can add, of course, other servers. I personally find that after 3 or 4 slave servers, the system slows down tremendously and you're pretty much anti-productive. But you could add another one with no problem, even a third one with no problem, and really crank out some really nice images quick. So that's my tutorial on the slave rendering ability of Lux. I'm going to let this roll out, and then I will start fresh with assigning a new machine and showing you how to upload your XLS to the remote server and letting just Blenderrender do your rendering for you. Which is good if you have assembly line work and you need to fire up 5 or 6 different servers and you want to upload 5 or 6 different XLSs and hit go, 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 go. That would be better for more assembly line work, whereas this is just one image at a time. Blenderrender can do multiple images for you for the same amount of time, and the train says it's time to go. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Thanks.